Good morning. I'm Vince Lancy, and in today's Friday's market rundown, we will be discussing India's gold demand in a little more depth and looking at three potentially market rocking stories. The news is bigger than the theory today. First, let's look at the markets. You can see by the headline what I'm getting at. The dollar is 104.28, up 11. 10-year yields are 421. Unchanged bid. S&P 500 is 55.57, up 6 handles after a negative day yesterday. The VIX is 1608, significantly stronger yesterday. Today it's up 16. Gold is 24.13, down 31. XAG silver is 29.48, below $30, down 34 cents. Copper is 425, down 22 basis points. WTI is 82.27, up 5 cents. Natural gas is 206, down 2 cents. Bitcoin is 41, up 41, I should say, at 64 and change. And Ethereum is 34.02. Platinum, palladium, you can see those, and grains are all up marginally, not worth discussing this morning. Okay, going through this as methodically as possible. The markets, not knowing anything that's going on in the world, the markets are showing you deflationary behavior. Okay, bonds are unchanged, right? Recessionary, deflationary. The dollar is slightly stronger. Metals are down. Well, stocks are not down because they were down big yesterday. So these things are not going to happen in lockstep. Oil is up. Copper is down as well. There could be several explanations for this, but right now you just think it's not flight to safety. It's event driven, right? These things don't make sense. So let's go through the things that don't make sense and try to make sense of them. The title there tentatively is Trump Conspiracy Theories Might Not Be Theory at All. Let's go through what we have on the screen right now. India needs the gold. That was a precursor to what we're going to discuss today. Trumponomics 2.0, mercantilism, corporatism, and higher gold. That's out there. Today's top stories, one of them is largest IT outage in history, sparks disruptions worldwide. Yesterday, Trump interview transcribed, JP Morgan out of China, gold, founders comment about NVIDIA and why we should worry about that. Anyway, you get the idea. So let's go to what we're here to cover. What are we here to cover? That's what we're here to cover. India needs the gold. That's the report that we're going to discuss. That's our title. Commentary is going to be on three big stories converging out right now. Coincidentally or not, right after the RNC ends. It's almost like they're getting it out of the headline, whoever they are. Trump conspiracy theories might not be theory. That's the first one. The second one is global outage of Microsoft tech. And the third one is high-powered Dems are saying Biden will bow out. These are all mainstream media topics, all coming out today. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's start with the premium. Let's start with the gold stuff, which is actually not as big in terms of news, but is very important in terms of gold's disposition over the next 6 months to 6 years. All right. We have an ANZ report. We will have this whole report broken down and analyzed for premium subscribers in a second post this morning. That's not true. Let me refresh my page. And don't go blank on me now, Microsoft. You're kidding me, right? There we go. We include for premium subscribers at bottom and a second post this morning, including over 40 charts covering India's changing influence, their gold economics, and future outlook. Okay, so the report's here. It's all at the bottom. Some of the main bullets are India's demand for gold is likely to remain strong in the face of higher prices. It's inelastic, as we discussed yesterday with your homework assignments. India is the world's largest second consumer of gold, accounting for 20 to 25% of demand. Despite higher prices, again, demand for physical gold has remained strong over the year. Here are 4 of the 40 charts that are all very insightful if you're trying to understand India. And I think you need to understand India because as India goes, in our opinion, so will the BRICS go. Gold imports increased by 26% year over year to 230 tons in the first 5 months of 2024, despite prices hitting a record above 2,400. India's current account deficit of 1% leaves room for a change in gold's import duty in the next union budget, and the industry is calling for a 5% cut. That's a big deal. We're not going to analyze right now, but we're just going to say that's bullish for gold, and it's also bullish for Indian stocks. Let's move to the three stories. So that's all at the bottom, okay? So premium subscribers, just keep reading and you'll see it. All right, there are three stories that are out today that I think are actually extremely important and make me scratch my head as to why they're happening all at the same time. But let me take a sip here for a second. Thank you, excuse me. All right, Trump conspiracy theories might not be theory. Our title. This is from the mainstream media. Law enforcement officials are investigating the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. They told lawmakers Wednesday that 20 minutes passed between the time the U.S. Secret Service snipers first spotted the gunman on a rooftop and the time shots were fired at the former president, according to several law enforcement officials and lawmakers briefed on the matter. There's a shitstorm starting here. And the mainstream media is rolling out of the shitstorm. They will, for better or worse, not go to the theory. And the theory is there's something going on here. There might have been a second shooter. It might have been planned. They might have known about it. You know, inside ball, JFK stories, you know, all that kind of stuff. The media, I'm going to give you their process. The media will not go to that. They will not even say this is a theory. They will start to roll out things, whether they know the truth or not. They will start to roll out things incrementally, telling you what's going on. Right now, the timeline is available. 20 minutes passed. They're going to start investigating the timeline. Pay attention to that because that will lead to the second and to the third and to the fourth realization, which could happen anywhere from 6 minutes to 6 years down the road or longer in the instance of the JFK assassination attempt. There have been on X and other social media some theories going around, and they're being developed, and it's kind of like a crowdsourcing thing. And yes, there's a big risk that we're jumping to conclusions, and that happens all the time when you let people unfiltered start interacting. But there is a community of people with half brains, at least, that are talking about it. One is Jedi. I'll include his link later on Twitter or X. Another is Chris Martenson, who's formed a phrasing around the audio that he's seen. And the third one is Matt Riley, who is a precious metals person in general. But what he is to us is he's a 10 or 20 year experienced intel type of person. I think he was an analyst. And his methodology for understanding the plumbing around the situation, for example, BRICS. I talked about Enbridge. We were probably the first people to talk about it at all. And now everyone's talking about it. And Matt went in and drilled into the background into looking for the bricks that made the BRICS. Listen to me. That made the theory, that made the Enbridge thesis that we had come out. So we're grateful for that. Now he's used that same methodology, in my opinion, to come up with a cursory comment, a cohesive cursory comment, putting everything into it. So you've got the water tower people are talking about. Anyway, let me just read this. We're going to have this out exclusively on Goldfix, free to everyone. It'll be out by the time you see this in an hour or so. It's 7:48 right now. Okay, and it's a great jumping off point so that you can start thinking about it from your own point of view and communities can start looking at things. All right, so here we go. The second shooter theory is a working theory of the attempted assassination of President Trump by Matt Riley. I'm submitting it for him. Bottom line up front, there was likely at least one additional shooter to the one being discussed in the media right now. In true JFK assassination form, there was a primary shooter and a secondary, more highly skilled shooter. Now, it's a theory, okay? Things need to be looked at, but there are too many loose ends to ignore. And, well, frankly, the mainstream media is going to start going through their process stories. Well, we have a timeline now. Let's examine the timeline. We have that as well. We have all that, but it gets digested and processed faster when you're looking at it for people that have a keen interest in what the outcome is, not in getting clicks. All right. So we have that as well. All right. So that'll be in here. Global outage of MSFT tech. After the convention, Microsoft's tech crashes, very business-oriented tech, and it was CrowdStrike, I think, launched a new product that made it crash. The red areas are where it's most affected: Australia, New Zealand, Europe, the UK, and the United States. So basically, the English-speaking world is down. Starbucks order menu is down. Airlines were down. Lots of important things were down. And it's being worked on now, we're told. Next big story. This is probably the first big story if you're not a precious metals person. Maybe if you are. High-powered Dems are saying Biden will bow out. Joe Biden's exit from the presidential race is seen as inevitable by much of Washington, but we'll see what the weekend brings. His campaign team called an all-staff meeting today, the AP reported. All right, everyone's covering that. So there's your three stories, right? You've got the timeline is now out for the Trump assassination attempt. You've got the Microsoft outage world affecting the world, right? And you've got the high-powered Dems are saying Biden will bow out. Those are three big stories, and they're very important because any one of them can move the market. So now if you look at the screen again for trading, get flat. That's what people are doing. A lot of people are long gold. No one's really short gold. They're getting flat. The RNC is over. They're getting flat. Silver, get flat. Stocks yesterday get flat. Everyone's getting out of risk today, but not necessarily putting it into safety. Who the hell knows where they're putting their money? Under their mattress, probably. Okay. So data on deck today. New York Fed President Williams speaks. Big whoop. Whatever he's doing is going to be counterbalancing whatever's going on in the markets. All right. And there's the PDF that we're sharing. This post will be unlocked except for the India content and the story about the second shooter that Matt wrote up, EF Bullion on X. That'll be available as well. I'm Vince. Have a good day. Stock up on whatever it is you need to stock up on for the weekend. Okay, so it'll probably come out with all good news on Monday, but you're getting the RNC off the headlines. That's my conspiracy theory for you. Have a good one.